Hey Artlings! I was wondering, is your artistic process more like a hen, bawk, 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 or a rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo? Well, let's find out today, okay? We're going to look at the second reveal in the Carnival of the Animals series. It's the Hens and the Roosters. Come on. Welcome back. I'm Melanie Gruby with Creative Magic, and around here we're all about all things art. That deep part of us that just wants to sing out. So step into the Magic Circle Studios, home of the all-powerful muse, and now you're home. So today we're talking about the second illustration in the Carnival of the Animals series. The music is by Camille Saint-Saens, and it is the Hens and the Roosters. And we want to look at the energy that is the hens and the roosters, and does that play out in how we work through our artistic process? Yeah, I think it does. So we'll see if you think so too by the end, all right? And then maybe you can tell me a little bit about how you feel about that. Is it more hens for you, more roosters for you, or is it both? And the first thing we can look at is what I'm wearing. So what I'm wearing is a feminine dress that's very hen-like. I hope it's approachable. You could talk to me. I could take care of my child. It's a very hen-like energy. It's about communication. It's about chatting with others and kind of thinking about things. Now, let's take a look at something I'm wearing that's not so hen energy. When these walk into the room, they're in charge. This is your red rooster energy. They're calling the shots. So I've been noticing that there's two ways, at least, that I work in. There is the observational sketching, where I'm looking at something in reality and trying to render that as close as possible on my surface of choice. So usually it's paper. Or I work in a subconscious exploration where I just rely on what I already know about a subject, and I let my own experience of it come out on the page. And it doesn't have to be accurate. It's not used for scientific reasons or analytical study. Rather, it's used for understanding my experience of it, and maybe someone else's experience of it too, because we have that all in common. So roosters, observational sketching, and hens, well, maybe they are the subconscious exploration. So can they live together in peace? Yeah, I think so. So gotta show you a sketchbook from Shaun Tan. It's his sketchbook. It's called The Bird King. And I really enjoyed it because he talks about his process a little bit, and about when he sits down to get an idea, he often has that artist block, or what writers call writer's block, and he doesn't have anything. And he says the only way to do it is to just go ahead and start drawing. And he quotes Paul Klee in it, or Paul Klee, if he's French, and he talks about taking a line for a walk, which I love. And he also talks about the artist as being like a tree and drawing from a fertile ground to produce everything he produces. So he has a fertile ground of his experiences, things he's seen, read, heard. All his senses play into it and processed and then come back out. So let's take a look at a couple pictures just to whet your appetite. On the more fantastical side, and on the more observational sketching side. And yet, even with this one, he talks about that, he says, I'm trying to develop a certain sensibility too, finding some emotional empathy with a subject, whether it is a person, a tree, or just a shadow on water. So check out this book, Shaun Tan, The Bird King. And of course we can't skip this one, Drawing is Magic by John Hendrix. Awesome sketchbook. And it too brings together the subconscious and the conscious acts of sketching, drawing, and creating. In it you'll get prompts from him, like here, where I felt free to ink in stuff on top of his artwork, and it was really fun. And he gives me something I can hold on to when I have self-doubt, like, don't be afraid to let others see you try. I'm letting you see me try. And there's my hand. You might, if you've watched the mermaid episode, you'll recognize Ven there. And for me, this just was fertile ground. As soon as I opened it, I was doodling in it, making my own notes. And I strongly suggest getting Drawing is Magic. Okay, let's take a look at what happened with my Hens and Roosters.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! Here we are. We've got the rooster, we've got the hens, and these came more from the subconscious side. I thought I was pretty familiar with what roosters and hens looked like, and yet I didn't try to stick too closely to that. As you can see, rooster, you know, pretty much looks like a rooster, but, you know, kind of a crazy tail. And we just moved from whatever the spatter gave me, and that really worked for me. I enjoyed their little personalities coming out, their crazy eyes looking at me and clucking at me, and their little chicks. See if we can find one there for you. There's a couple. So thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you again. Okay, so you know, I'm posting on Fridays, and in the ideal world that will happen. And then maybe sometimes I'll add a little mini-sode in, like I did last Monday with the mermaid. It was just a detail from a larger work, but I thought you might want to see it. Okay, so check it out if you haven't. And as always, don't be afraid to spill a little paint, or a little ink, or a little pastel, or a little oil, or a little computer-generated art. Bye. Hey guys, one more thing before you go. What is your artistic process like, and what do you want it to be like? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks. See you next time. And then there is the subconscious exploration. That's what there is. Subconscious exploration. I didn't like that presentation at all. So I think it's magic. Just like the name. Drawing is magic.